Hey, you guys, on today's episode, the Democrats are in a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble. And they seem to think that the way to fix their problem is to change their language, just change how they're saying things. So we're going to go through this document that basically tells Democrats how to talk again like normal people because they seem to have lost the plot. So stick around for that today on the Angela Box Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box.
Okay, there is an organization and it's called thirdway.org, okay? And they released a little how-to brochure, if you will, to Democrats who are just floundering and don't really know how to talk like normal people anymore. They are so steeped in wokeism and being offended by everything and entitled to everything and just, always just at the edge of their seats about to pounce if you say the wrong thing. And basically, Third Way is saying you might want to lay off on the woke language. It seems to have overstayed its welcome. And it's funny because you know damn good and well that this organization, I mean, if we can look back on their little papers that they put out, you know that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they were pushing this crap like nobody's business, okay? And if you look at academia or you look at the culture or you look at sports or government organizations or just anything, any World Economic Forum, like whatever, they all say the same things. So they've been saying the same things, this Orwellian groupthink speak for a very, very long time, the new speak, if you will. And the new speak, people are kind of like waking up to it and going, we don't like this anymore. So this group Third Way is winking and nodding at their little lunatics. And they're like, listen, we know that MAGA is like crazy. Okay. We know that these people are, knuckle dragging troglodyte hillbillies, but we need to try and get some seats back and get some voters to come back to the Democrat Party. So we're going to have to put a pause on the nonsense we've been talking about for decades and start talking like normal people again. So here are some of the things that thirdway.org is telling leftists to now do. Now, keep in mind, again, this isn't telling Democrats that they've done anything wrong. Not really. They're saying, listen, these MAGA types, the era of Trump, I mean, these people are wackadoodle, okay? But we have to try and speak to them like they're 5-year-old, like they're 5 years old, because the way we've been talking to them, we're so much smarter than them. And the way we've been talking to them is so over their heads, and they need help. They need help. So we need to speak normally to them. So here's what you can't say anymore, okay, leftists? Therapy speak. All right. I'm not going to go through all this because it's a lot, but I'll go through a few of them. Okay. So the word privilege. Oh, that's a big bugaboo, isn't it? They love throwing that word around. They love talking about white privilege and, cisgender privilege and hetero privilege and all the crap, right? And in reality, we've got a situation now where white people are basically afraid to pop their heads up or they're going to get smacked. So, check your privilege, leftist. Then we've got dialoguing. We just got a dialogue. We got a dialogue. It's like, really? Because every leftist I talk to just likes to monologue and tell me what a piece of crap I am. But okay, sure. Here's a good one: othering. So if you're othering people. If you're othering people, you're like, oh, that illegal alien. That's othering language. That's othering language. You need to say undocumented immigrant, okay? Because we don't want to other people. Okay, then we've got, this is obviously a good one, and we all know this one. It's triggering. It's very triggering. This is a very triggering video, frankly, because everything you've been told to believe and to say and that would get you somewhere is now being completely imploded, like the World Trade Center. Anyway, then we've got microaggression, microassault, or invalidation. Microaggressions are, if you side eye somebody, and if you're a white person and you look at a black person funny, that's a microaggression. Okay. Then we've got this is a good one. We all know this one. Safe space. Oh yes, this is, you know what? This is a safe space. This is a safe space. If you want to come and talk about how you like to molest your sister, Lena Dunham, like this is a safe space and you can do that. No, don't say that anymore. Don't say that, leftist. Okay, this is a good one too. Holding space. If you're holding space, you know, you're Kamala Harris, if you will, and you're in a presidential debate and you're holding space and you're reclaiming your time. Actually, I'm surprised that reclaiming my time is not on this list. It should be. All right, here's some more seminar room language. Now, again, keep in mind, guys, keep in mind that these people of third way, they don't really think there's anything wrong with this. They're just like, we need to pretend that we're something we're not. Because if we're truly ourselves, it is so horrifying. And everyone is like, can you effing stop being so annoying and stupid? And it's to the point where we just laugh at you because you're so ridiculous. Okay. Seminar room language. Okay. Systems of oppression. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't talk about how being raised in a nuclear family or a 2-parent family or an intact family or a father who works and a mother who's not on welfare. Don't talk about that because that would be a system of oppression. Okay. Let's see. Cultural appropriation. How dare you, white person, put on an afro wig and pretend you're a black lady. Like, can't do that. Well, guess what? I guarantee this year at Halloween, we're going to see a lot of cultural appropriation. A lot of white people dressed up as Indians, feather not dot. Okay. Then we've got Overton window. This one you hear all the time on MSNBC. Honestly, I don't even know what it means. I have to look it up. And so do you. So forget it. Don't say it anymore, leftists. And then we've got existential threats. That's a good one. Existential threats to fill in the blank. Democracy, which is obviously all of us, and Trump, clearly. Existential threats to the climate. So if you don't think that human beings driving cars and cows farting is going to end the world as we know it in the next 10 years, you're an existential threat to the climate and you should probably be wiped out. Okay, so then we've got organizer jargon. Organizer jargon. I mean, even these headings, I'm like, you guys, you're trying. Like we have to slow clap them. They're trying to be normal. They can't be normal, but they're trying. Okay. That ship has sailed long ago. Okay. Organizer jargon, radical transparency. Okay. In theory, not a bad thing, right? But when you're talking to a leftist and when you hear it coming out of a leftist mouth, you just go, okay, oh God, what? What now? What are you going to be transparent about now? Are you going to tell me that you identify as a cat? Are you going to tell me that you're a furry? Like, I don't want you to be radically transparent with me. Okay, stop it. All right, small d democracy. That's a good one. They like to talk about that. You know, Trump is a threat. They could really combine both of these here. Trump and MAGA are an existential threat to small d democracy. Don't say that anymore, leftists. Don't say that. It triggers people. Okay, stakeholders. Those are good. Stakeholders are the people. You know, if you go to a school board meeting and it's like I used to do, and it's a bunch of psychotic mothers from West University area, which is like the leftist, most ridiculous white liberal women infested part of Houston, and they're wearing their mask and they're like, you know, all these stakeholders in these schools, they need to be able to like speak and be heard, and you know, they're stakeholders. And it's like, okay. Okay, the unhoused, aka the homeless people that you are continuing to make worse because of your policies. Okay, food insecurity. I can't. Housing insecurity, aka homelessness, and person who immigrated. So, person who immigrated, they're saying, don't say that, you guys. Don't say that. Say foreigner. Just say foreigner, be done with it, because that's what they are. Here's this next one. I mean, again, these headings are part of the problem, third way. It's like physician, heal thyself. Okay, gender / orientation correctness. Birthing person. You guys, I didn't even know this next one was a thing. Birthing person / inseminated person. What? Do you mean a woman who's pregnant? Okay. Pregnant people. And on that note, pregnant people Can't say that anymore, thank God. AKA women, biological women who are pregnant. You chest feeding. This is a tranny thing. Oh God. The transgender men. The transgender men who insist on completely psychologically damaging children and pretending that they're a man, but they can breastfeed a baby. I mean, these people are just complete wackadoodles. Okay. Cisgender, aka normal. Dead naming. Oy, dead naming. Dead naming is when you call a tranny by his birth name, aka the name his mommy and daddy gave him, aka calling Caitlyn Jenner Bruce Jenner. No, can't do that. Can't do that. Well, guess what? Saying dead name, that's out. That is out of the culture. You can't say that anymore. So figure something else out. All right, heteronormative, aka being normal. Can't say that anymore. Patriarchy, obviously. And I just think, listen, that one's going to be hard for them because they love talking about the patriarchy. They love talking about the patriarchy, and these girl bosses over at Cracker Barrel who are hell-bent on destroying a once great brand, they're going to talk about the patriarchy all day long, and they're going to be like Charlton Heston saying, you're going to pull that revolver out of my cold, dead hands. Okay. They're going to be like, you're going to pull the patriarchy and us saying the patriarchy out of our cold, dead hands. Give it a shot. And then here's a good one. Obviously we hear this one 27 times a day. LGBTQIA+. Okay. Now here's how they describe why we must get rid of this part of the language. Okay. Standing up to MAGA's cruel attacks on gay and transgender people requires creating empathy and building a broad coalition, not confusing or shaming people who could otherwise be, wait for it, allies. And literally in the next segment, they talk about how we need to get rid of the term allyship, or don't say that. Again, guys, they're not changing, okay? These people are not changing. They're not changing at all. They're just hiding who they are better, or they're going to try and hide who they are better. But here's the dirty little secret about Democrats, okay? Because they are dumb and arrogant, okay? And because dumb and arrogant is a dangerous combination, they're not going to take this memo. They're not going to take this memo at all. Y'all, they're getting ready to elect Zohran Mamdani, a literal millionaire communist in New York City, who thinks that they can just take over grocery stores and that's going to be fine. And, we should just make sure everyone has a house. Like, what's the big what? This is who they're going to continue to vote for. This kind of a palate cleanser, if you will, is not going to go over well with the people who have made these ridiculous terms part of their everyday lexicon. All right. Part of the way they speak just in normal conversation. Talking about allyship and talking about how we need to protect the undocumented immigrants and the LGBTQIA+ undocumented immigrants. And, we need to make sure that the patriarchy is taken down. Do you honestly think that these people who have made this language part and parcel of their identities are going to give it up willy-nilly? I don't think so. Let's continue. The shifting language of racial constructs. So again, y'all, they can't even write a paper without word salading the crap out of it, without sounding like Kamala Harris. I'm speaking on stage. Like they suck. They suck. They can't do it. This is so disingenuous. I would have more respect for these lunatics if they just went full AOC, because that's what they want to do. Okay. And half of their party wants them to go full AOC. So, flame on. Okay. The shifting language of racial constructs. You can't say Latinx anymore, you guys, because nobody knows what the hell that is. That's an invented term like Kwanzaa. Okay. Nobody knows what Latinx is. Stop saying it. Okay. BIPOC. BIPOCs are minorities. Okay. Black, Indigenous, person of color. And also you should probably stop giving, acknowledgement, land acknowledgement ceremonies before everything that you do. You should probably stop doing that too. Allyship. Don't say that anymore. We don't have allyship anymore. We have to shove that down. Shove down what we really think. Intersectionality. And y'all, this word, I remember hearing years ago when I hate watched the entire season or the entire series of Girls. Okay. The awful Lena Dunham show. Yes, I hate watched it. And she talked about intersectionality. And I was like, what the hell is that even? Intersectionality to the layperson is like saying that all you oppressed people, like if you're a woman, if you're a woman of color, if you're a woman of color who's gay, if you're a woman of color who's gay and an illegal alien, if you're a woman of color who is gay, legal alien, and Muslim and transgender, those are all intersections. Okay. And we have to make sure that we respect that intersectionality. But they're like, no, don't say that anymore. Okay, this last one is so chef's kiss. It is so chef's kiss, considering what Trump is doing in Washington, D.C., where he now has Black mothers and Black women begging Donald Trump to continue to take over, coming out with MAGA hats on, going, please, we want more. We want more of you guys to take this over because DC is actually becoming safe again. We can actually walk down the street or be in our cars without being carjacked or go to a restaurant without being mugged. Like, more of this, please. Okay. So it's going to be very funny to watch the Democrats try and, dance around getting rid of this language that they created. Explaining away crime. This is the final segment. Explaining away crime. This says, quote, the criminal is the victim is an afterthought, end quote. Yeah, that's what your entire philosophy is. So here's what they're saying to Democrats. Don't say these things anymore. Justice involved. If you're justice involved, that means you are a criminal and a thug. Okay. When you say justice involved, you're talking about a Black criminal. Let's keep it 100. Okay. That's what it is. All right. Next. Carceration, not incarceration. I don't even know what that means. Carceration. Incarcerated people, aka thugs in jail. Okay. And involuntary confinement, aka you're in the clink. You guys, they will not stop. Okay. They will not stop. And so here's the conclusion. That third way wants Democrats to take away from this, wants their allies in the leftist movement to take away from this. Conclusion. Some will take issue with the inclusion of words or phrases we ask Democrats to avoid when talking to the public. And to reiterate, we have used some of these phrases in our own writings in the past. Oh, you don't say. You basically created this Frankenstein monster and now you want to kill it. Well, guess what? It ain't going to be killed because half of the Democrat Party wants this party to go further left and to use these words even more. So no, I'm not going to forget it. I'm not reading the conclusion. I want you Democrats to flame on. I want you to continue to do this because the more you do this, the more MAGA wins. Okay. So keep doing all this. Essentially, you need to take this third wave document. And instead of thinking that these are words you should not be using, you should re-embrace these words and re-embrace these concepts and keep going. Keep going because normal people hate your guts. And the more you do this, the more we can't stand you. And the funnier it is. And the more we keep winning. So flame on. All right, that's where I'll leave this video. Please let me know what you think down below. And I will see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, do all the things. I will be done. Bye.